What would LeBron look like as a fighter? We know that LeBron does have a football background, right? He's obviously one of the best basketball players to ever grace Earth. Would he be good in the octagon? That remains to be seen, right? And I don't think we will ever see LeBron James in an octagon or in a ring. But if he did, do you think he's calling out Colby Covington the same way Colby Covington has been calling out LeBron for years? Bad-mouthing him in every, post-fight interview, press conference, all of that, saying LeBron this, LeBron that. I don't know. Probably not, right? Colby Covington fights at 170 pounds in the UFC. LeBron is 6'9", 250 pounds, so the likelihood of that ever being a sanctioned bout is, I would say it's probably about 0%. But LeBron, I don't think he can make 205 pounds, but he'd probably fight at heavyweight. Could he fight a Francis Ngannou? I mean, those would be two of the best physical specimens we've ever seen in the history of mankind going at it. But it's a very difficult transition going to a sport like basketball into the cage where you've jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing. It's very tough. Now, second though, this sounds a little bit more likely, is Tyson Fury, right? Now, Tyson Fury, this is interesting because in his last boxing bout, right, when he retained all of his heavyweight titles against Dillian Whyte with a beautiful uppercut finish, Francis Ngannou came into the ring after, and Tyson Fury, who had just maybe 5 minutes before declared that he was retired from boxing, said he would fight Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou, obviously, he's looking for that big payday and he wants to be the baddest man on the planet. He said, of course I'll fight you. So there was a lot of talk, even right after on Twitter and all social media, like, wait, are these two gonna fight? Tyson Fury just said he's retired. Francis Ngannou just tore his knee up recently. Would this ever really happen? And if so, what would it look like? Now, I think this would be a much more interesting fight than some of these other crossover bouts that we see or exhibition bouts that we see, because Tyson Fury is, arguably best pound for pound boxers in the world currently and the heavyweight king of the world currently. So you put the heavyweight boxing champion against the heavyweight MMA champion. This would be very interesting. Now let's talk about somebody who comes from a WWE background, right? We saw Brock Lesnar have success in the UFC and he became the heavyweight champion in the UFC, but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? I mean, everybody loves Dwayne "The Rock." We know he's a huge UFC fan. He just recently posted that video of him watching that vicious Michael Chandler kick to Tony Ferguson, and we know that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is at all UFC events. He has a good relationship with Dana White. Could we ever see him in the octagon? I would say the chances are low, but I mean, who knows, right? Could he follow a Brock Lesnar or Dave Bautista the way that those two did it? It would be very interesting to see, especially because heavyweight is a very different type of skill set than some of those lower weight classes where, if you have power, all it takes is one right hand or one left hook to the jaw and you can win a fight. So it would be very interesting, and I think that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is one of those people that's unanimously loved by everybody. So him in the UFC would be definitely a treat, and I think would sell a lot of pay-per-views. Now, Logan Paul, the YouTube sensation, the social media star, who has boxed Floyd Mayweather in an actual boxing exhibition, and he has fought multiple boxing bouts. Could we see him in the UFC? Now, this seems even a little bit more likely because we just recently saw Dana White on Impulsive, which is Logan Paul's wildly successful podcast, Logan asked Dana, he said, hey, Dana, could I get one fight in the UFC? And Dana did not say no. He definitely did not say no. And knowing Dana and the savvy businessman that he is, could it happen? Could it really, really happen? I wouldn't be surprised, right? I mean, Jake Paul is doing his thing. Logan has been doing his thing. And I'm sure people would definitely want to see Logan Paul in a cage. He does have a wrestling background, so you got to give him credit. He's going to be starting with something. He did call out Paddy Pimblett. Now, Paddy does fight at 155 pounds, and I think Logan walks around at about 200 pounds. So, it's probably not going to happen against Paddy. But to be fair, Paddy during the off season is at 250 pounds and is fat. I love Paddy, but he's fat. So he could fight Logan Paul at 200 pounds. He's probably weighing 220 pounds right now. So don't forget to subscribe to the best place for all of your favorite combat sports news. Swipe up and join the FS team.